I scored a used mattress online, and that same night I fell asleep and found myself transported to some random day in the future. But no matter what I did, nobody around me could see me. So I jotted down some lottery numbers, woke up, bought the tickets, and won 300 grand. I kept running it back, and in 2 weeks I'd made over 2 million. But this time, I saw myself get murdered. My body was spread eagle on the bed, and the left leg of my pants was empty. Once it hit me, I tore through the whole place. Living room, kitchen, not a single soul. Where's the killer? The blood on the floor was still fresh. I checked the front door, deadbolted from the inside, no signs of forced entry. Every window was locked tight. Only the basement door was open, pitch black and dead silent, like an eye staring at me from across the bright living room. The clock struck twice. The motion light snapped on. I forced myself to go down. The basement was dark and packed with tools, and sitting on the wooden table right in the middle was my leg. I jolted upright, shaking all over. Sunlight was pouring in through the balcony right onto my legs. Still alive, but only until tonight, because that nightmare is the future. I looked up the seller on the secondhand app. Account deleted, order history completely gone. Creepy as hell, but honestly, this was an opportunity. I ran tests for a whole week. Day 1, I woke up at 9 a.m., way too early. Day 2, I woke up at 7 p.m., but by the time I got to the lottery shop, it was already too late. By day 5, I finally made it in time. I memorized the numbers off the big screen, woke up, bought the tickets first thing, and hit 300 grand. Over the next 2 weeks, I ran it a few more times and raked in over 2 million total. I had zero clue who killed me, but I knew. The killer was coming in through the basement tonight and hacking me to pieces. The clock struck twice, meaning 2 a.m. I was already dead. So the killer had to have come in after 1. Simple fix, just leave. I packed my stuff and made a call. Chung-Ye, I'm crashing at your place tonight. He had no idea what was going on, but he said yes. But when he saw me dragging the mattress over, he gave me a look and went, "Ciao San, bro. You got rich and now you're acting all bougie? What, my bed not good enough for you anymore?" I went back and forth, but finally just bit the bullet and told him everything. The whole story about the mattress. Chung-Ye was my ride or die. He lit a cigarette and sat down. "So, you're telling me all that money you made lately was because of this mattress?" I nodded. I knew how crazy it sounded. He took a long drag, shot up out of his seat and went, "Nice one, man. You had the lottery numbers and didn't say a word to me. Too worried I'd suffer. Or more scared I'd pull up in a Range Rover without you." He was roasting me, but honestly it got to me. "You actually believe me?" "Nope." He frowned. "But there's no other way you made that kind of money." I walked him through the dream. The further I got, the worse his face looked. "Good stuff you keep to yourself. Bad stuff and suddenly you remember I exist." But even as he said it, he went around and locked every single door and window. Then he grabbed a cleaver and planted himself right by the front door. "You sleep. I'll keep watch tonight." I must have looked unsure because he pulled out his phone and pointed downstairs. "Relax. I'm not an idiot this time. There's a police station right below us." I breathed a little easier. I was too wired to sleep, so I took half a sleeping pill. As I was fading out, the last thing I saw was Chung-Ye patting my face. "Don't forget to grab the lottery numbers for me too." When I came to, it was pitch black. I thought, this dude is so unreliable. He swore he'd keep watch, and here he is knocked out somewhere. But when I turned around, my heart stopped. The bed was empty, and on the floor right next to it was a body. Half the skull caved in, brain matter spilling out like a smashed watermelon. Wait, where was Chung-Ye? I bolted for the living room, and the second I stepped out, I froze solid. A wave of pure terror hit me all at once. I nearly threw up right there. Chung-Ye was hanging from the ceiling, feet off the ground, slowly swaying and staring right at me. I hadn't escaped. And now I dragged Chung-Ye down with me. I could barely breathe. My legs were shaking so bad I could hardly stand. Then the clock rang. Once. 1 a.m. My blood ran cold and my head started buzzing. I'd gone to sleep at 10 p.m. They died at 1 a.m., maybe even earlier. That's only 3 hours. The killer got in somewhere inside that window. I was running out of time. I had to wake up. I slapped myself hard. But you can't feel pain in a dream. "Wake up! Wake up! If I don't wake up right now, I'm actually dead." Then something from a movie flashed in my head. I gritted my teeth, threw myself straight out the window and screamed, "Just end it already!" I hit the ground with a thud, and a sharp pain exploded through my front teeth, the kind that drills straight into your skull. Chung-Ye heard the crash and came running, eyebrows all scrunched up. "Didn't you take a sleeping pill? How are you up already?" He stepped closer and saw the blood on my mouth. "Bro, did you just knock out your tooth?" I didn't care about any of that. I yelled, "What time is it?" "Almost midnight, why?" I grabbed him, my legs could barely hold me up, and forced 2 words out through my busted teeth. "Call 911. Maybe it was the look on my face, but he didn't ask a single question. He just turned around and called the cops, phone on speaker.